Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Autopsy with Maddie P. I'm your host, Maddie P. And it is St. Patrick's Day, my girl. Feeling lucky, got the sweater on. I was going to say I'm not Irish, but I'm white, so I could be Irish. I probably am. Who knows, I love St. Patrick's Day just like the same way I kind of love Valentine's Day. So this week, because of the Irish and the potato famine, we will be talking about manifestation. I know. And just like this week is kind of like a let her yap episode. Every week I get kind of intense and I have one topic I'm talking about. And I swear the fate of the world lies in that one topic or something. And I just get like wrapped up. And so this episode, I thought we'd keep it more lighthearted, do some yapping, and maybe start kind of getting into the spirituality field, because I do have some things to say or to let you guys know about how I go about my life. I don't want to, you know what? That's it. She's going to yap. The reason I haven't been warming up, there's just like not a lot going on. Like everything that's going on is just played out. And like, honestly, I think the world last night, I'll tell y'all, last night I got into a rabbit hole on TikTok. It wasn't even a rabbit hole. I liked one thing, bruh. One damn thing. And it changed my whole For You page. It was about something about politics, which y'all know, try to keep out of it. Liked one thing about it. And then before you know it, I got to go to the DMV. I got to go to the post office. I got to go to my local state council. I've got so many pieces of paper to get. What if I want to leave the country? Oh, wait, I never leave the country. Why am I playing myself? I think it's going to be different in 2025 and I'm going to need something to leave. I'm not. No, manifestation. I will be. Thank you. But it frizzity fucked me up. And I don't know how you guys live in a state of mind where you're like constantly threatened. And I saw a TikTok a guy posted last night and he was like, honestly, I don't know how to act because my life is perfectly normal. And he's like, are we dying or not? Like, is the world going to end? Is our country ending or not? And I found that to be so true because I wanted, like, there's been a few times I've almost come on here, not to talk politics, but, as a warm up, but I don't know how serious or unserious to take it because, like, is the world ending or not, y'all? Like, like I said, the goofy nation. We just don't know where we stand. And I thought that TikTok was so real. Anyways, and it kept me up till like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm a new snoozer in life. Do you guys remember when we were younger, St. Patrick's Day? They used to tell us the story every year, and my bitch ass still don't know. I still don't know why we have St. Patrick's Day. I shouldn't say that. I mean, like, I know it's for St. Patrick's birthday. That was so not funny. See, like, if that was about not a white person, that would be probably offensive. Honestly, I kind of want to look it up. I'm kind of curious. St. Pat's meaning. I went to school at USC Bluffton. Shout out Sharks, Sand Sharks. And we would go to Savannah for St. Patrick's Day and get fizzity fazoinked out of our minds. Savannah's a great place to go. I live in Charleston. Charleston's a great St. Patrick's Day place too. But if you guys on like the southern area are looking for somewhere to go, take your ass to Savannah. Take a man and take some mace and a knife, but go because it's actually really fun. I've always wanted to see the Chicago River Green. My brother used to live there and I think I missed my opportunity to go see it. So maybe one day. Oh, well, St. Patrick's Day just celebrates the heritage and culture of Ireland. Oh, I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. It's to commemorate St. Patrick's arrival of Christianity in Ireland. Okay. Celtic. I don't know, but I always say, if you had the chance to change your fate, would ya? I think Brave is a great movie. I have never been to Ireland, but I would love to go to Ireland. So hit me up, Stonehenge. Them boys on the block. The Stones. I love how I wrote in here, I put news ? Not going to talk about it. This was 1 a.m. when I was scared. It says news ? The laws saved in TikTok. That's so funny. My second one is the laws saved in TikTok. I was about to tell you guys about all the stuff you need to do. See, they get me so easy. And there's so many like dangerous sides of TikTok for myself. Like not necessarily for everyone, but I don't need to be aware of all of that. I literally was about to come here and be like, you guys need to go to the DMV and get your expedited debit right now. But and people are talking about like if we need to flee the country, are we that close? Like, do I need to have a plan in play? Because I will get one. But today, we're Irish, so we don't really have to worry about that shit, dog. We're Irish. So I know I've got my horse on horseback outside. So I guess we'll get into the episode. But, okay, so today is not as planned, as proper as usual. It's more fun. So just bear with me. I'm going to kind of go wherever. I'm just going to take you wherever on this journey. I'm not even going to ask you. I'm just going to rip you away and I'm just going to take you. So I guess I want to talk about my personal spirituality in some ways. I think that spirituality, and the reason I don't talk about it, is so sweet to me and I want to hold on to it for myself for forever. And I find when I talk about it, it is easily tainted because people just don't have the same belief system as me or don't think the same because none of us think alike. And what we think happens to us or whatever is so different person to person, whether you practice a religion or not. Like even amongst like religions, it's like that. And I don't want anyone interfering, you know, like I'm just at like for the first time in my life, I'm at serious peace where I'm at spiritually, like serious peace. And I have an understanding that this life is so much more than me. And I find when I talk about it, people just shit on me or take it away. And unfortunately, sometimes I can't catch myself from letting it happen. You know, like I'm like, wait, am I crazy? You know, like, so it's something for me. I'm not going to go too much into my spirituality, but I just want to talk about it a little bit because it's Irish. So we're going to talk about the luck of the Irish. Not really. Actually, I think the episode's name is Luck, Blessings, or Pure Coincidence. And I love, you guys know, I'm just going to stop hiding. I'm going to stop reading off this damn paper. I love spirituality. I love religion. And I think it is the most interesting, craziest concept. And I was raised Christian. I go to church every Sunday still. And my walk with my higher power doesn't look that similar to Christianity. I really enjoy being in touch. I really enjoy having a personal relationship with my higher power. And I really enjoy finding peace in a day where I don't typically have it. Where I can take a second and say, help me get through this. Give me some strength. Give me some power. I'm tired. So it was not always that way. I have struggled a lot with my spirituality. Today is more so about manifestation, but I thought I'd just give you a tidbit, you know, like this is not a religion-based podcast. Like I talk about again, I will say it over and over. That's why we don't do that shit. You are welcome, irregardless. Please understand that. You are welcome here at this table, irregardless who you are and what you believe. Girl, I love you if you got a Bible in your hand. I love you if you got a Quran in your hand. I love you if you licking up some crystals out back, girl. Whatever. That's what I think the issue is nowadays, is we all think that we're right all the time. And I think it's like the coming of age with the present state of the world and our country in particular. And it's not fair. Like, I don't feel the need to identify or to claim I'm part of something or this and that. It's just so much pressure that comes with it. And like, I am in the South and I have to remember that. I do live in Charleston and I was raised in the South. But it's really personal and yeah, don't fuck with me and my Gus. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'm already getting off track. Today is just like a yap day. You see, like, I'm just not here. I'm here. You know, anyways, I think irregardless of who you are, I don't think everyone needs something to lean on. I don't think I hate when people say like atheists or people who don't have God are inherently unhappy, and it just doesn't make sense to me. And it's very funny because a lot of people will say that to me, and I'm like looking at them and I'm like, I'm probably one of the happiest people that you know currently, like honestly, truly. And I don't share a similar relationship, nor do I like partake in what you do, and so it's just like the whole stigma around it, and the stigma that people are broken or horrible people if they're not following your specific regimen to like a T, your God, your thing. And I think everyone benefits from having a relationship with whatever that looks like for you, whether you're a Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're atheist, whether you're pagan, like whatever the hell you are. Having a connection, I think, is very beneficial to earthlings. I don't know, there's something about it. Like, even if we get to the end and we found out we literally return to dust, like, I think it's better we have something to believe in. And I do, where I stand now is the first time in spiritually where I feel free. Like, it feels right, like I actually believe it fully. I don't have to question it, like I believe it and I feel it. There's evidence to me around my life. And now I have a full understanding that I walk with a higher power and I walk with my head higher because I know I'm of ancient magic, and I know that I owe more to the world because of this strong connection I feel. So I just think, like, growing up too, like, I was in church every Sunday and I would never change that. I like my favorite time, like, I teach kids at Sunday school, like, it was the best times of my life. And okay, what the fuck was that? Not the best times of my life, but this is what happens when an ADHD girl tries to, like, I've been trying to, like, diet and shit a certain way and, like, live life a certain way because I can't take no pills. And there's no mommy's juice anymore. So I'm just, like, loopy. That's who I am naturally. And I'm coming to find that, and that's okay. But, geez, get to the point, sis. I think religion is great for anyone who partakes. I think you benefit strongly from having grounding, and whether you think you're right, you're wrong. Something tells me that when we get there, we were all right. Like, something tells me if you follow the path and you listen to yourself and you listen to the world and to the higher powers, and you live a kind, patient, loving life where you know that you did your justice to the world, I think we get to the end and it's like, girl, y'all made it. Surprise. Why y'all fighting? What y'all fighting for? Y'all made it. Little did you know, we were laughing at you. That's enough about religion. Holy shit. I wasn't even going to talk about all this because, like I said, it's personal. And I don't like being shit on for what I do and don't believe. Like, it's too much for me because I'm happy and I just don't care. Manifestation, girl. Manifestation is something I have done for 7 years, 6 years. Since I was like 18, probably, I started manifesting. When I moved to Florida, right before that, probably like 18, 19, I started manifesting. Did not work, queen. Didn't work. I got very spiritual. My whole life I've been kind of spiritual. Like, I think I just have a real, like, now I'm in tune, so I think I am more than ever, but I think I'm really in tune at this point, and, like, my intuition, like, I swear, y'all, these dreams and shit I'm having, and, like, the intuition that I feel before things occur, like, I just trust my gut now because I feel like so many things have happened that I'm like, I can trust it. Like, I just know this shit about to go down. Or, like, I know this is about to happen. And so I think I've always had an inkling, and, growing up in the South, I've always had kind of, like, just a love for that side, and just, I feel things very deeply as a girl, as a woman. I feel so deeply. And I like being crazy. Gag me with this. Oh, no. Never worked. Manifestation never worked. I'd meditate. There were a lot of things that I did that helped my mental standpoint. We've talked about my Florida journey a lot. Boy, was it ugly. It was great. I miss Florida all the time. Who knows? Maybe I'll go back. I don't know. I love Florida. And I love my friends there. Seriously. Like, those people there are really, really good people. But it was, like, just a bad time for me mentally. Not even necessarily in terms we talked about of drugs and alcohol. Actually, I think drugs made me mute, and I was going through some psychosis, and I didn't know. I didn't see that. So I meditated a lot, and I revolved my life kind of more so around spirituality, and I noticed that things were getting better mentally, and that I was getting kind of like stronger into a much normal place again. And I was like, girl, let me start manifesting. So what I would do, I meditated, like I said. I would have set up bath times. I had my crystals. I had all my shit. I would set out things in the grass and just lay and look at the moon at like 1 o'clock in the morning for several hours and just like write and shit and like be a little fairy. And those things are great for my being. Nothing ever actually changed though in my life, right? I started manifesting. So I would write in this journal that I had, and I would write the same things every day. I swore I felt it. I swore this shit is gonna come fucking true. It didn't. I was asking for the wrong things. I had no idea about manifestation. I had no idea about my energy and the way that I flow with life and my personal relationship to human existence and to being a person. We all have very personal relationships, and that's why I say with religion, every person is different. Like, I think some people really thrive off of having that straight up Catholic God, and that's what their brain works with. Some people thrive off of approaching life in different ways, and it's about your recipe. We've talked about this before. It's about your recipe. And I didn't know my relation to life. I didn't know my relation to like the spiritual side of life, to my higher power. I just didn't get how I fit in to this puzzle piece of life. We've talked about that before too. But I think all religions are based in manifestation. I just think this. And that's why I think there's so much more that connects all of us than we talk about. And that's why that's why we're religious free here. Blah, 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 blah. I think every religion is based in manifestation. I think prayer is manifestation. And I have a whole episode we talk about the power of prayer. I have come to know and love the power of prayer, girl. This is another thing I want to point out. This is kind of for my spiritual girls more so. I spent too much time explaining myself, which I didn't need to do. But there's a fear in the South. It is hard for me to stand on 10 with what I view and like what I feel and what I think. It's hard. I'm a Southern belle. People don't like that I'm not the same as them or that I'm not so Southern. I used to think prayer was strictly religious. I thought prayer was very religion based and that I didn't have much utilization to do in that field. That is wrong. Every single religion utilizes manifestation. They might utilize it as a whole to come together. They might utilize it individually, but manifestation is a huge tool across everyone. And it took me too long to realize that I should be praying regardless who I am and what I believe. I guess that's not true, but for me, I should be praying. Prayer is very important and it is manifestation. So don't downplay prayer if you're like on the atheist end of things or getting out of maybe some unlearned habits from religion or whatever it is. Utilize it. It helps. And I find even if it's just me talking to myself, I've said that before too, because of course I have a relationship with my higher power. But when I was getting to that place, especially, I'd be like, at worst, I'm talking to myself. And at worst, I'm getting it out. And I'm able to kind of discuss it, put it out in the air, and get it off my chest. Similar to journaling, right? So I think manifestation is a great tool. And if you are partake in any religion, you utilize it. So it is not some magic woohoo hippie shit. It's real. Spirituality is real. Yeah. Okay, so manifestation for me did not work whatsoever until I did two things. I based it around self. So not changing my circumstances, not for a goal, but for changing self. Let's manifest the best version. Let's manifest changing. Let's manifest getting into a mindset where we are that now. And I think a lot of people mix that up with manifestation. We're not asking for what we want because we're not going to get it. We're asking to become who we want to get that. You know, like we're not the person that makes $1 million right now. We have to become that person. And I think manifestation is more so about that. And I wasn't utilizing that tool to change who I was. It was more so about getting what I want versus we have to change for shit, you know? The second thing, I did not mix it with action. Manifestation doesn't do fucking shit unless you're mixing it with action. I'm just saying. There's no way that you could be like, I want $1 million every day, but you don't do anything to change your life. You don't do anything to up your pay. You don't do anything to try to even utilize your morning to do DoorDash or whatever it is. You have to mix the two, which I know, I guess to some people is really obvious, so I don't need to go too far into it, but to me it wasn't. I thought manifestation was like wishing, you know? I thought it was kind of similar what I thought prayer was. Those two things were kind of similar. Just like you wish on a star, you may get it, you may not. It's action-based. As addicts, as alcoholics, you are now action-based. If you're watching this podcast, you should be action-based at this point. Because that's how we have to live our life. Because we ain't gonna get shit done sitting around on our ass and dreaming and hoping and wishing. Shit doesn't come to the dreamers, the doers, and the dreamers. See, I'm just crazy. This ADHD, I don't know, girl. Like, it has just been blossoming recently. But I've been on a better diet. I feel like my brain is getting healthier. Like, I say that every episode, but like, it's getting more in tune with me. Girl, what in the hell? Intertwining the two. We need to intertwine magic and reality, right? Isn't that kind of the goal? Isn't that how you would get to the perfect thing? Is between magic and reality, mixing the two and creating from there. That's the point of manifestation. And like, I do think people get lost in hope. Like, I just think like you have to understand no one's coming to save you, you know? And no matter what you believe, no one's coming to save you. And I wish I could say that. I feel like people are going to take that personal because if they're God or whatever, and it's not personal and it's not about your God, he'd be saying probably the same shit to you, you know? I'm saying this from that standpoint. Like, no one's coming to save you. You have to do that shit for yourself. Like, and living in this hope, in this, oh, I'm going to get it. Like, it just isn't realistic. It's like at that point, like I was doing that for a while. And like, I wish, like now I'm much more action based and I understand the tools and that manifestation can help me now. But like, I wish I would have I've always said this too, I could just settle down and go get a fucking degree and do a normal job too. Like, you're not special. Sorry, that was personal. I took that personal. You had nothing to do with this. I'm sorry. But like at that point, what I was doing, manifesting, swearing I was gonna get this shit for real, it was just like, just go get a job, bitch. Like, go to school and just be like a vet tech. You know, like some random shit. I don't know. It's just like, you're going to dream yourself away. And there was a guy in, I can't say where I know him from, but there was this guy. And one day he was like, don't dream your wishes. Don't wish your dreams away, you know? And I thought that was sick because he was like, don't like procrastinate. Don't sit on that shit. Don't wish on it so much. Like, you're going to wish it away, you know, like action. You're welcome. Love you. So what does help? What does help with manifestation? Some things for me. Completely changing your verbiage. Oh, this is a big one. Okay, so I struggle with this. Not speaking down on myself, not speaking poorly about myself, not speaking poorly about my circumstances, what I have at the moment, not putting a negative light and hue on things. And I think a lot of people are stuck, and it's a sickness to be that negative. And it's about changing the verbiage, you know? Like, I don't talk about my life or myself that way anymore. I talk about myself with hope, you know, and with beauty and with strength. And speaking like that, I don't know if it really puts bad shit into the universe. I think that is true. I think part of it is true, but I don't live by so many of those human things where it's just like, how do you know that, bitch? You know, like, it's just like, you're crazy. I love you, but you're crazy. And I side with it because it's almost just like, why do it if we don't need to? Whether it works or not, it helps me mentally to get to a better place. And a lot of the shit I do is fucking placebo, boo. Wake up, placebo your ass, placebo the shit out of your ass, honestly. Like, placebo, placebo, placebo. Because either way, I'm getting to a point that I don't talk about myself, don't talk about my life like that. And it creates a stronger, healthier place for me to come from. So whether that works or it doesn't, and whether it is the universe, it is someone somewhere being like, okay, she's talking positively, we'll start sending good shit her way. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't matter. I placeboed myself. So it works. It's a hack. It's a hack. And I saw this girl also on my TikTok thing last night talking about, time is going quick today because of my rumbling, talking about how she's like, remember you in 2020? And I was like, right, that's a Raven. Flashback? Yeah, I do. I believed in rocks. And I believed that I was Aquarius and that I ruled the sun or whatever the hell. And life was better. Like, I'm back to that place now, but when I did not have that, I remember being like, ugh, this is like shitty. Life is shitty without a spiritual, like, something to, God, hold me down. Ground me is the word. Something to fucking ground me. Like, going through addiction, going through all that shit without having a God, without having somewhere to lean is so isolating and so fucked up. And I think back to, like, when I was crazy, when I was delusional off spirituality. And I think that's a better way to live, you know? And the girl was talking about it and she was like, get back to that shit, girl. Like, and she's right. Like, this is childhood shit. This is the shit that heals our inner child. And that's why I wanted to do kind of just like a yap kind of segment to, like, because it's just, we need to get back to our little girl selves. And you as a little girl, you loved God. Did you not? You loved, like, something, you know? And I don't know. I think there's a reason that that's implemented in our childhood. And it's because we're closer to the other side and because we're not tainted by all this shit. And I just, you know, it's beautiful. Second thing that does help. Gratefulness, girl. And I know I've said it before, gratefulness is the cure to pretty much everything. If you really think about it, gratefulness can change your, like, literally everything. I think gratefulness is at the pit of my success in my sobriety. I think gratefulness is at the pit of my success and where I've gotten emotionally. And I think manifestation can feel us, you know, like, great. It's important to be grateful for what we are and what we have now. And if you can't do that, I mean, like, of course we have shit we want to change. Of course, I'm not saying your life is perfect, but there is enough around you because you're alive right now, right? You probably have, like, a water or something near you. You probably had breakfast or lunch or wherever the hell you are in your day. You're blessed, you know, in some sense of the word. And we get to choose kind of how blessed we are in reality, right? Like, I'm rich. I've said this before. I'm filthy fucking rich. I have a 1-bedroom apartment. I live in alone. I'm already rich from that. My family, rich as fuck, you know, like, didn't grow up with money. I am severely rich, and gratefulness will change your life. It'll change the course of your manifestation. And I wish more people would listen to that because, okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this part. I wasn't going to say this yet. I think in some ways we're being tested when it comes to manifestation. I think that there is a trial that takes place. We don't just get what we want. And I think part of that is that maybe, so, like, say I wished for $1 million, right? All the time. Who's to say that I could handle that, right? Who's to say? I don't know what myself is like with $1 million, but maybe my higher power does, or whatever you think. Maybe the future already knows that, or, like, whatever the fuck, you know, your God, whatever, already knows that. And is like, oh, you don't know it, but you are somebody who's happier with less. You genuinely are. Or, which I don't think that of myself. Like, you know, I want my speedy, but who's to say some of the things that you don't get in life is because you couldn't handle it, or because, like, you just got to find your happiness, and, like, you're looking for other things and it's right here in your chest. So I wonder that sometimes. That's why I don't get frustrated, like, because it's just who knows, like, what if that timeline is already played out and I was in complete distress and unhappy my whole life for whatever I got, and it wasn't actually meant for me. And I think we're being tested too in a lot of ways. At least that's what I think, because it's like, you have to show patience, you have to show courage, you have to show strength, and you have to show perseverance, you know? Like, you don't just get handed something at a job. And I think that we get tested in more ways than we think. And that's why even behind closed doors, it's so important that we hold ourselves to that standard mentally and in an unbreakable way, where what we want in this life is, that's how we do life. Like, that's how we go for shit. Like, day in and day out, what we love is what we choose. And like, we're patient and we understand we don't get our way, and that we have an understanding, you know, like with this, I don't make money off this. I may never, you know, but I have an understanding that I love it, and that I have had a few girls reach out to me that have gotten help through this. And that's what's important to me. So for me, that's how I feel. It's like, sometimes when I feel a certain way, it's just like, no, bro, like, this is what you fight for. This is what you love. And it's worked out for you so far because you're in a much better place mentally. And that's proof right there, you know? Hey, mamas. So I don't really say mamas like that because I say it in Spanish. So, hey, mama. I'm sorry. Sorry, queen. Yeah, do we even know, do we really want what we're asking for? Do we? Because I was looking at some of my manifestation lists from way back in the day, and I'm like, girl, you didn't even want that shit. Like, I just think we don't know what's best for us sometimes. And I think our higher power is like a parent in a lot of ways, like however you view it, because it's like, girl, you don't even know yourself for real. You know, it's just like a kid asking for this. It's like, girl, you know you don't like that spicy food, but you're going to eat it anyway. You know you don't like that. Please. Okay, here's your spicy food. Shit your pants. You know? And let me say, manifestation works. All this shit works when you understand you don't want certain things in this life. You want you to be fixed. You want you to be the best you can be, and you want things to happen to you that are meant to happen to you. You want an organic life. And I think that's why manifestation doesn't work for a lot of people, and I do it so lightly. It's not something I live by, because it's like, I don't need to ask, bro. Like, I ask for guidance all the time. I ask for guidance every day. You know, like, I ask to be in the right place at the right time. I've talked about it a million times. That's the type of shit that's important. That's what's life-changing. Not walking around asking for shit, but understanding that I have to get to a place where things naturally happen to me and flow for me, and I attract, I don't chase, period. Like, that's what my life is supposed to look like. And so I feel like when we flip that on their head, then when we manifest, when we ask for something, or prayer, same thing. When you ask for something, it's, you know, it's real, you know, it's one thing, and it's just like very important you put your time and energy into that one thing. It's that one thing you're going to put your boots on the dirt, but you are going to wish upon a star a little bit, you know? And like, that's why it's rare for me to manifest half the time now, because I work for what I want. A, constantly I work for what I want. B, I ask for guidance. Like I said, I ask for my life to be not of me, but of my higher power, to be of the better good of life. That's what I want my life to be, you know? And like, we don't get to drive the bus. We're not, like, who driving his bus? Not me. I ain't driving his bus. I don't know who is. Like, I don't know which God is right. I don't know what the hell, but I ain't driving his bus because I don't have it in me, and it's not worth it to try and push a square into a circle. Like, I can feel the guidance, I can feel my intuition, and I can feel what feels right to me. And I've never been in that place before. And that's where you need to be, is like, really, I feel what's right for me, and I feel it. And I feel the intuition, I feel guidance, I feel where I'm meant to be. And then maybe that, and again, this could be placebo, dude. Like, this could be me learning self so much that I'm guiding myself in the right direction, you know? Like, and I'm not saying that to downplay my higher power, to downplay religion at all, but who knows how far higher power, how far all that shit really goes. So either way, the placebo works for me. And if you're a spiritual girly, placebo the fuck out of your life. Manifestation can get in the way of some people, I feel like, because if you want to go get it, you know? And I think people wish for the motivation. They wish for the wrong things. They wish for, that's what they should be wishing for. You know, it's like they don't realize that they're wishing a step ahead in a way, you know, like you shouldn't be wishing for money. You should be wishing for the power to get to that place. You should be working every day on getting out of bed earlier, on little tasks like that. You know, it's like everything is so big picture to us and so me that we don't understand that it's time periods and it's patience and it's step by step and it's gratefulness. And like, that's the reality of shit, is gratefulness and listening. And I think it's just important to envelope ourselves in what we want, to make everything around us what we want, and to envelope ourselves in that life. And I think that's why manifestation can really, really work, because when you do that, it's pushing. You're getting what you want. You're showing that you're willing to put the time in for that shit. And again, placebo too. Like, I'm kind of almost pointing out most of placebo in this, because wherever you are on the chart of spirituality or religion, you know, placebo is real, girl. It's science. So, and I think like enveloping yourself in that life and wishing so deeply for something, it placebos you, and it allows you to actually get to a place where you can grab it, because now you're believing in yourself. Either you have a force on your side, like I believe I kind of do. I believe I do have a force on my side, but either way, you feel like that. You feel like now you're a force to be reckoned with, or you have something on your side. Whether that is real to you or not, it's placebo and it works. And manifestation allows us to become. Like I already said that kind of, but it allows us to become the person that gets what we want. Because they say that, like, what is it? I think I wrote it down. Oh yeah, luck is opportunity and preparation, right? Isn't that like some shit somebody said? And I think that's a great way to look at it, because it's all about work, so much more than we think. And it just all boils down to our mindset. Like, looking at life in such a negative way isn't going to get you fucking anywhere. It gets you absolutely nowhere. If anything, it just makes everything worse. And I think that I get more evidence out of bad following bad people than I do good things happening to good people, because who knows if the state of the world is really deferred by good and bad when it comes to like judgment time or whatever the hell you want to call it. But I have more evidence in bad following bad people than I do good following good people. And I think it's almost like the philosophy where I say, at least I'm not getting worse. It's kind of like that. It's like, at least I know I'm not bad, you know, like I can push. And it's all about mindset with manifestation, y'all. You can't be negative as fuck and then write down on a piece of paper like, okay, my ass needs to be huge in 2 weeks. Wait, has anyone ever manifested an ass? Okay, should I? See, but then I don't work out, so like I wouldn't want to do that. Someone should do a test run. I could sit here and talk about the law of manifestation and like what it is or isn't and the science behind it, but like it's boring and you've probably heard it all a million times. And I think it's just about like being intricate and having your power and having a lot of power and understanding that that comes first in your day. What changed with me, where manifestation started really working for me and changing, was when I had space for new. When your life is plugged up with all the old still, there's no space for flow. Now, like I'll think about certain things and I'll be like, oh, maybe I joke and I say, I don't think I've seen my favorite movie yet, you know? Or like, I don't know, maybe my favorite song hasn't been written yet. Or like, those are little examples, but we have hope in the future and we leave space for future Maddee. I leave space for new things to come in, and being open and okay with change and accepting it, and not only accepting it, but inviting it and saying, hey girl, like what's up? I've got this new spot for you. Let's vibe this out. And you got to clear out. It's more so about clearing out all the old shit to make space for new shit. We can't live a clogged life. We can't live a life where our energy can't even get through the room. And also that I feel like that goes with being open to new ideas. So like there are so many old ways of thinking that I had to let go of that I honestly kind of believed in. And we have to be willing to understand that we learn new things and we adapt to that and we get new opinions and new ideas and we change internally too. And I think it's important to be open to change and to learning and educating yourself or others educating you and you growing through that. And it makes me wonder, like, is there energy in believing? Like, you know, we can't see atoms, right? We can't, Like, now I just sound like a crazy person, but it's okay. We can't see atoms. We can't see all these little oxygens and shit going through the air right now. But I wonder if manifestation and believing, I think believing there is an energy to it. Like, whether it sends it somewhere like or not, there's an energy. Like an actual like I feel like there's an equation somewhere for that shit. You know what I mean? And, you know, maybe that's all the acetabs. Like, who knows why I think this way. But I wonder if there's not, like, an actual energy to it. And I think about that all the time because I know we can feel energy in so many ways. And I just feel like it radiates off of us. And I'm like, believing is an energy. And that makes it scientific and so real to me. And I think that's what is important for me because I like having there are a lot of things, don't get me wrong, that I believe through faith, that I believe without sight. But there's way more things that when I could believe it maybe, but if I get the evidence of it, it's just like, we're done. I get it. We're done. You're done. I get it. And I think if I am being a dumbass and I Google this shit after and I figure it out, it's like proof that believing has energy. Damn, she's off of perk 30. And speaking fact, this is mine. This is what my future looks like. I am this now. I am not this tomorrow. I was not this yesterday. I'm this now. You know what I'm trying to say. Speaking in fact really helped me. And that goes with kind of what I talked about on our verbiage with ourselves and our verbiage with our life. But I just think speaking in matter of fact is another placebo for me too, because then I believe it and I understand it, and I can be super weak-minded in terms of that. And I used to really be. Now I'm very patient. But it helps. Okay. It helps. And I think understanding that our expectations and our asks need to be realistic. You know, like, it's just not realistic what a lot of people ask for or what a lot of people dream for or hope for. And it could be realistic if they changed who they are, but you know they won't. So it's just not realistic. And I think a lot of my expectations and my asks weren't realistic. So I think now when I manifest, it's realistic, you know? Like, I don't sit down and manifest every day that this podcast is going to blow up. But once a month, do I sit down and say, I hope this will reach somebody? Not I hope, but like, this will reach somebody. People will be healed from this. I will create a community. I will create a space where women are healed and where we can help each other. And this will be a successful podcast. I will find what I'm meant to be in this life. Purpose follows me. Instead of asking. And I don't know. I think maybe that's another recipe thing for me in my personal mindset where I'm at. So that could be like more of a personal recipe deal, but it works for me. And I think just like over time, manifestation, like I said, makes us much more in tune, and it makes our gut stronger, and having a relationship with the other side does that. And I just think religion is such a fun, beautiful, fascinating thing to me. And it's just like, again, I won't talk on it too much because I think you're right. You know what? I think everyone's right. Like, I don't know. Like, in terms of what you feel and what it brings to your life, you're right. Whatever you believe, you know? And I just I wish I could urge you to like to find your relationship. And something I did for a while too was like, I would be like, God, reveal yourself to me. Like, I don't trust this shit. And like, now sometimes I hesitate to even say God, you know, because it's just like, it's a term that camouflages me into the real world, A, but B, it's a term that is kind of a lot to me. And I just think people have taken it so far and so crazy. And what like higher power and stuff looks like to me is just different. And yeah, I get uncomfortable even talking about it because it's just like a huge massive part of our judgment of who we are is based on that. And like, it's just unfair. And I think you're right. I think whatever you choose and you want to do, I think that's fucking great. And I hope it works for you. And I am sure your God, whatever measure of that word looks like, has your back, girl. I'm sure about it. And staying in tune, I think mostly I didn't want to talk about what I just talked about. I don't want to talk about religion, what I think, whatever, because it's just not anyone's business. It's really not. But I do want to talk about you having a strong connection and being grounded, even if you don't have a God or you don't believe in anything, and understanding that the earth can give that to you, and that the air can give that to you, and that laughter and friendship and understanding self is what gives that to you. And like when I entered the program, it was my higher power for a while was the program. It was the rooms, it was AA, it was people. And because I was growing into my spirituality, I was growing into who I would become, and I didn't have one. And I think it's just important to have a driving force, someone to believe in, something to believe in, and being grounded. And so, is it luck? Is it coincidence? Is it blessings? Who knows? Who really knows what it is? I think it's blessings. I think we work for the shit that we deserve. And I think being in tune. You know what, Maddie? Shut the fuck up. This is going to be a super short podcast today. Honestly, this should be a bonus episode. I'm going to vape again and see if I come up with something else. I guess I'll say what I kind of do. And a lot of these topics, why I choose to talk about myself, because I don't have your brain, and I don't have, some just fail. I don't have your brain, and I don't have the right answers for you, but you can assess how close you are mentally to me, I feel like, in some ways, and what would work for you and what wouldn't. So I'm just kind of speaking on my own experience in that front. And because I don't have any advice to give anyone, obviously, because it's just like, I'm me. But what works for me and like how I stay spiritually in tune and inclined now, every day I meditate in the morning, even if it's a 10-minute meditation. I also bought this thing off Amazon, and it's just bowls, and it's like a little sound machine, and it just like does bowls throughout my home. And cutting out some time, I'm like a big watcher. So like, say I'm doing my makeup, I'm watching the Kardashians. Say I'm cooking, got Vanderpump Rules on, whatever. Silence. And I've talked about silence, I've talked about solitude, but being well aware that I have to have silence in my day. So like, not listening to music on my drive to work is kind of a newer one, I'd say, for like the past month, where I just sit in my car and I just drive to work, and I think and I pray, and I ask for good to follow me, because work's a fucking battlefield at my job. And waking up in the morning and setting my day is really important to me. Like, this candle will be set whether I was filming or not right now. And being clean, obviously, but just every day making sure I meditate and making sure I journal and I get out my feelings is super important. I didn't even realize, like, I've been obviously struggling with Allie's passing, and I don't know if I can talk about it. I miss her every day, and I think of her every day, and we just hit 2 months, and like this past few weeks, like especially, like I feel I've seen it in all my friends too, not just in me, and it's just like really hard, and I don't recognize that in my day-to-day life, the kind of pain sometimes that I'm going through, or how intense it is, because I don't talk about it, like I talk about it when I need to, but I realized yesterday I really broke down about it, and just about Al and everything, and realize how much pain that I really carry, and not just Al. Thinking of Allie opened the doors to, like, when I sat down, I was like, wow, I'm feeling some pretty intense pain, and we're going to in grief, so it's not like I expect it to ever go away at any point. I would never want it to. It's a beautiful piece of me, and it's the way that Allie gets to live in me, so I'd rather have the pain of it than not feel it at all, because that shows me that she's with me, and I do get to talk to her every day. But anyways, just like making sure that I'm in tune setting my day, and that I'm like assessing really where am I right now, because I'm feeling kind of hurt. And oftentimes if I'm unmotivated during my day, I'm unmotivated to get things going, it's because I'm hurting in some way and I feel a need to rot and hide behind scrolling. That's just what it looks like for me. Like if I wake up and I eventually am like, initially I'm just like, I just want to scroll today. Like I can't even do this shit for real. I'm hurting. I just know it. That's with me, not with everyone. It's me being in pain in some way. And I just put up such these big walls that sometimes I can't even bring them down, it feels like. And that has been a really big new piece into my day that has really helped with my spirituality and with asking for peace and asking to not only see the good, but to see the bad and to see my pain and like where I suffer and see the good in all of that. And so that's a good piece to your morning. The fuck is wrong with her? Yeah. Manifesting like whenever it arises, you know, like it's not about a time and place or whatever. And I think having the powerful space, like we talked about, the workspace, the manifestation space, having powerful points to go to in the beginning of your day, and diet, I'm just going to say it, eat 3 meals. Eat 3 meals a day. For me, diet is a new one. I have to eat breakfast. What is she even talking about? Manifestation is feeling. It's energy points. You should, when I'm manifesting, when I'm thinking of something, I feel the energy point specifically in my chest or in my eye or the crown of my head. These are obviously chakra locations, and you know, I don't even believe in a lot of spirituality shit. You know, wish upon a rock. If that's what helps you, it's what helps you, you know? And like, who knows if it's just my body being able to tingle at a certain point and it just happens to bring me peace. Like, who knows if it's purely physiological that happens to me. But I think it's good to make sure that your body is like, I don't know how to describe this, like in an energetic state. Like, and I hit like a spot in my brain where I try to make like my whole body feel that. And like, I'll do it if I'm walking around, or like, sometimes if I go to the store, I'll put in headphones just for manifestation music. Like literally I'll put on, or not like spiritual music. Like I'll put on like, all that shit, you know? It helps. Energy points. So you should utilize your energy points while you're manifesting and meditating. If you don't, you should be. And throughout the day, training your energy sensors is like what I do. But now we're getting too far down the line. Those are just things that I do, girl. But mostly it's about gratefulness, and it's about being kind to others and putting good into the world to receive good. That's the main takeaway. However you want to placebo and doctor up your life, get on that shit. Do it. But remember that it all lies in between your two ears. All the secrets, all the truths, all the stuff you want to know is probably right here. Yeah. Oh, there was one more sound that I heard that we don't say anymore. Oh, notice me, senpai. Notice me. Cringe doctor. So, if you're Irish... What are you guys' favorite Irish movies? My favorite was the basketball one. And there was always something to me about finding the end of a rainbow. Is that not enticing to you? Are you not enticed by that? Like, I want to find a 4-leaf clover. And the fact I never have, you know, I haven't done a bunch of diligent searching. But if you have, comment down below, because you have lucky girl syndrome. It's just fun. Gold. Wasn't there another one where there was like a mermaid involved? You guys, I just unlocked a part of my brain. That basketball Irish movie from Disney, you remember those, like, there was a whole bunch of like that genre. Like not Irish genre, but like those characters. And like, I'm losing it. Disney used to be different. Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like that vibe? What other movies were out at that time? You know? Like there was one with a swim team and a mermaid happening. I swear. Do you guys feel luckier now? Tell me the truth. Okay. I'm not going to elongate this anymore. I'm just going to edit half this shit out. You can manifest the life you want, but more importantly, you can build the life you want. And mix reality with fantasy. It is the best way to live. I think that science can get to a certain point that it becomes magic. And I think that it can be very real. And I think also that it is possible there is a math and a science that we do not measure and we are not aware of. And that energy and all those things I talked about, and is there, yeah, there probably is an equation. And it's probably to the gray man. What do they call them? Big grays, tall grays. It's probably something from the tall grays or the Pleiadians or whatever. And that interests me too, because it's just like, we don't know. And I love that we don't know. I find it fun. Like, imagine if we did know. I think we'd all be living in a lot different way. It wouldn't be so fun. We wouldn't like, I don't know. I think faith and wishing keeps us young. I think it does. Like, I don't know, girl. Oh, and also the crystal deodorant. Oh, I didn't know if I told you. Did I just out myself? I started using crystal deodorant. It works. Sorry. It like actually works really well. Just saying. I have no smell. So don't use aluminum deodorant, please. Love you. You don't want to use aluminum deodorant. God. Don't want to use aluminum deodorant. Don't buy Method. It sucks. Buy the crystal on Amazon. You just wet it. You put it on your armpit. I know I sound like a woohoo hippie. It works. I also don't have like bumps. I'm not getting ingrown hairs really. I also don't shave that much. So there's probably that. Anyways, love you guys. I hope you took something away. And if you didn't, this was just a silly, goofy letter yap episode, you know? So I love you guys, and I hope you're sinking, grounding, and remember, if you don't believe in anything, you can believe in nature. You can believe in nature, and it can heal you. Go spend some time outside. If you don't give a fuck about anything I just said, go outside. That is where you can find shit. That is where you find power. That is where you find yourself. That is where you find everything, is in nature, is in Mother Nature. Irregardless who you are, what you think, and what your religion is. Go outside. Love you guys. Have a great week. Bye.